there, welcome back to the Groomsman. I'll be your host, Jonathan. Today I'm using an older soap. This is the Loft by Ariana and Evans. They don't make this anymore. This is an old goat's milk and tallow base. So it's got beef tallow, goat's milk, shea butter. I'm not gonna go through the whole ingredients list because it's not even an available base. It's one of his older bases. Tobacco Absolute, bourbon, and sandalwood. I don't have a lot of tobacco scents. Usually I like the scent of like pipe tobacco, not smoked tobacco, just like, straight tobacco out of a bag. It's nice and rich. But normally I don't like this. Like I have an idea in my head of what it should smell like, and I buy a soap that doesn't quite smell like that. But I do like this one. When I first got it, I was like, I don't know, I'm unsure. It was a little, I don't know. Harsh isn't the right word. But it was something. It was a little, I think it just threw me off a little bit because I expected something different. I think maybe the bourbon note threw me off a little bit. But I kept it, I just put it on a shelf, and then I revisit it, and then I slowly started yep, I get it, I like it. The tobacco soap, tobacco and bourbon are the two top notes, and the sandalwood kind of evens out the whole thing. I do know that this scent morphed into the signature scent for A&E. If you look up their website, the signature soap and splash, there's been some changes to it. He changed some of the scent notes and stuff, and amped up whatever. But it went from the Loft to the signature, and then I know he just released the signature and the new base that they've been putting out in the glass jars. I haven't used that one yet, but I think he put it out in that one, or maybe it was just an Ultima base. But he said he tweaked the scent a little bit again. But I haven't tried the signature. I keep meaning to pick it up. One day I will. But in the meantime, I got this tub of the Loft, and it's still got lots in it. And this old base, if you ever see like the old, look at that. The old A&E soaps on like the buy sell trade page. I don't know if I'd pay like full price for one, but if you get a good deal, it's still a great soap. Super shiny, super slick, super dense. Pretty sure I've said this before. A&E makes a great soap. Yeah, this is good stuff. And this soap, it's older. Couple years at least. I don't know how long it's been since Kaizen 2, more than 2 years, 3 years maybe, at least. I don't know. But it's just as good as ever. You can see some of like the little dots, the little white kind of dots that show up. It's just stearic acid. I've seen people post about that recently on like Facebook and stuff, and they're like, what's wrong with my soap? I pulled this one off the shelf and it's got all these weird dots, and the stearic acid will do that. It'll kind of surface of the top and make those weird little dots. Doesn't do anything with the soap. Alright. All lather up there. Using an AC razor today. Shield AC razor. This is in titanium. For a long time they were only offering it in titanium. I don't know why. I don't know if that was I have zero. There could be all kinds of reasons why, because they didn't blue sky stuff, but I don't know why. Kind of similar to the Blackland. Obviously it's got like the same basic overall head design there, but the profile's not quite as thin as a Blackland. The blade angle's a little bit different. The way the top cap is shaped, you can kind of see on this sideways thing, it's a little bit more of a steeper angle, kind of a built-in, whatever 30-degree angle. So there are definitely some differences there, and not just aesthetics, but also in like the blade feel and the blade performance. They're both really good razors. I think I got this for like $67 on AliExpress. They do sales and stuff all the time, and this is super cheap. And I saw a thing recently. I haven't gone and checked it out too much, but he's starting to do other materials. So he's releasing some of these ones on his DE razors and stuff in stainless steel and then aluminum now, I think. So if you were wanting to get one but didn't want the lighter weight of titanium, which is kind of a midway between, not quite as heavy stainless steel, but not as light as aluminum. A nice happy medium. And maybe you might want to go pick up one of those other ones. I'm pretty happy with this. I don't think I'll buy the stainless steel one. I like the way it feels. I have polished it up lightly. It could use some more work. But it was, you know, they all came in like a matte titanium finish. So this is the, I got a Schick blade in here, a Schick proline. One of these Schick proline P30 blades. It's my preferred blade. I do have some feathers. I got the AC Pros and some of the carded ones just because I want to kind of try them out. I had like 4 or 5 days growth. It's knocking it down. Very smooth, no tugging. It's a little more comparing to like the Blackland. I don't know, they're both really good. It's hard to compare on price. I mean, price the Shield ones right away. I don't think you can go wrong getting it. The Blackland's a little more refined as far as aesthetics go. Although I like the Shield. Like kind of like rigid, flat back on there. This one just, it looks a little bit more appealing. The rounded edges and everything. I like rounded edges. The handle, yeah, I mean 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. They both look nice. It's up to you, I guess. I did do if you go back to the list, my playlist on the channel, I did do a face off with them once. And I think I found the Blackland was a little smoother. Well, that being said, does not mean this is not smooth. I think. It's been a minute since I did that video. I could be wrong. Go check it out. And then come back to this video and comment. Let me know. Remind me. It's hard to keep track of all my pains. I could probably write it down. There's that app. I get a little frustrated every time I think about the app. Somebody made a shaving app. My Shave Den, I think. It's on Apple. And you can load like all your products in there, Scott. You can load all your soaps, your splashes, your razors, your blades. From what I understand, it's very user friendly. Very easy to like track what you're using every day and like a quick little note about how you liked, you know, the different products. I guess it's got a feature where you can do random. There's like hit a roulette thing, random thing, and it'll just spit out like a soap and splash jet and a razor and a blade and whatever else, a brush, or I don't know if the brush is going there. That way you're, you know, if you're having problems picking what to use the next day, you can just do the random thing and do what it says. It seems really neat, but they only made it for Apple, and I don't have Apple. I'm sitting here on a Samsung phone, and I wish I had it. I'm not sure why, if there's any reason other than the developer only uses Apple is my guess. And I don't know if they're gonna ever make it over to Android. I heard at one point that they were, but that was also like over a year ago and it hasn't happened. And it usually doesn't take that long to port an app from one OS to the other. So my guess is it's not gonna happen. It's been so long, that app's been out for a minute. And I think if they were gonna take the time to port it over, it would have already happened. But I hope I'm wrong. I know TRC was doing I don't know if you call it a coupon or what, but they were, I think the app is like 5 or 10 or 15 bucks or something. I don't know. I don't think it's free. I think there's a small, reasonable price for it. But I know TRC they had a thing, I don't know if it's still on there or not, but if you buy anything basically online, you can get a free download of that app. Which I thought was pretty neat. And I was excited until I realized it was only for Apples. This is really smooth. The long blade, if you've never used an AC, that took a little getting used to. It's not quite twice as long as a DE, but it's definitely longer. And it took a little, especially some of these passes under my neck, it took a little getting used to trying to find the right angles to get the hair. Sometimes they're a little easier to do with a smaller DE blade or an injector blade, but persistence is key. My first venture into ACs was not successful, and I was like, I don't like these blades, they're too long. And I was pretty new into wet shaving and stuff, and DEs in general, and so I was like, I think I just gave up too quick. And instead of keeping the razor that I had around, I just sold it off and moved on. But I'm glad I decided to revisit. I'm liking these. I actually got the, if I just did a video with the Occam's razor, the Oren, I think. I don't know. There's so many different versions. But he just did a video. If you haven't watched it yet, it's a pretty good video. All Pius's videos are good videos. But he did a shave with that Occam's razor at Artist Club with it's got 3 different base plates. It's a little more complicated. You gotta use like a screw to change out the base plates, I guess. But it's just one little screw. I mean I don't have it sitting here. The Supply SC was like that as well, though. Got it interchangeable. The original one had 3 base plates, and a little screw set to change them. Simple, elegant, easy to use. Well, maybe not elegant. Cheap. Simple and cheap. Got the job done. I don't think Supply's done it, but some of the other kind of competitors, the Supply-esque razors, kind of made a pivot to the magnets, using the neodymium magnets to hold the blade and the top cap and the bottom cap together. I mean, I haven't used one like that. A razor that uses I've used razors that have magnets to hold like the blade in place, like the twig has little magnets to keep the blade from slipping while you're putting it all in there. But I have not used one that uses magnets to hold the base plate and top cap together. That's a little interesting. I mean, in general, those magnets are super strong. They should last. I mean, theoretically. I just have like nightmare images of it like popping off and you just slicing a gouge in your cheek. This is stupid smooth, by the way. The Vector, not the Vector. What's it called? The Blackland version. Not the Saber. No, it is a Vector. That might be a little bit smoother, but this is still really smooth. But anyways, I was going to talk about Fayez and his Occam's razor video. And he's going to, I had mentioned on my last video, I was kind of doing a whole rant about classic shaving. I'm not going to go and redo the whole rant. Check out my video. Posted like a week ago. Clip notes where Occam's is like selling cheap Xamic razors made in China and pretending like he designed them himself. And they're selling like a $2 Xamic razor head for like $60. Like, crazy markups. Check out AliExpress. It's unfortunate that Classic Shaving is doing that. I don't know why. I mean, he used to make these really cool, very unique razors, these Occam's SC razors. Like Bias has, and he's going to send them to me to try. I don't know why he stopped making them. Maybe it became too expensive to manufacture, or his manufacturer disappeared, or I don't know. I'm not sure why he stopped making them. I'm even more unsure why he decided to pivot from making a very cool, originally designed razor to selling a knockoff, rebranded razor from China at an incredibly ridiculous markup. It's he's got two on there. A DE razor, which is basically a Fooder knockoff, or not basically, it is a Fooder knockoff. I don't have an issue with Fooder knockoffs in general. I just have issues when you claim that it's your own design. He claims on there that he's been working on that product since mid 2023, and it's just baloney. He was supposed to put out a response to the shenanigans that everyone's been kind of calling him out on. Donald Younger did a video 2 weeks ago, and he talked about it and said he'd reach out to the owner because he always uses the Occams, and so he got the truth from the guy, but he didn't want to say like the conversation yet because that guy said he was going to make an official statement. But then it's been 2 weeks and I haven't seen anything. If you guys have seen something, hit me up in the comments, send me a link or something, because I've looked around and I haven't seen any official response from Classic Shaving on any of this, and it's been called out by Donald Younger gently, called out by me not gently. Some stuff on Facebook groups, and it's kind of nonsense, but hopefully something comes out soon. I'm gonna do a cold water rinse and clean up this shave, and then I'll be right back for post shave and final results. Alright, I'm back. Thanks for sticking with me. I did have one last thing I forgot to talk about earlier. I have not given up on straight razors, for those of you that have been wondering about that. I know I haven't used one in a minute on camera, but I have not given up on straight razors. I am finally sending some out to Glenn Mercurio. He's one of the admins on the SRP Facebook group, the single or straight razor group on there, and then he runs Gemstar Customs. So I'm sending him a couple razors out to get all prettied up and honed professionally, and I found this one. This is one of the ones I'm sending him yesterday, my local antique shop. I went looking, hoping to get a wedge. That was my goal for the day. I didn't think it was an achievable goal. The wedges are a little harder to find than a regular razor. But I went looking, and I went back in this one shelf, and there was a whole bunch of razors stacked up, and this one kind of peeked out to me. These scales were in really good shape, and I'm pretty sure they're ivory. Based off the age as well, they don't have like the little brown black dots in there that you would get with horn or bone, but it's got kind of a horizontal grain to it that you would get with ivory. Anyways, so what I got here is a dew snap made out of Oxford Street over there in the UK and in England. True wedge. You can see that. I think you can see it. True wedge. So I was really excited. I got this really nice wedge. Tried to do some dating stuff on there, read through some forums, asked some guys in the group, and the general consensus from my research and what other people have told me is that this was made approximately between 1840 and 1860 something. Somewhere mid 1840s, mid 1860s. So that's by far the oldest razor I have, and super cool. I was very excited to get it. Got it for $29, probably plus tax, and I'm super excited for it. So I'm gonna get that sent out to Glenn. There's no home marks on that side, or no tang marks, just the Oxford Street. Dew Snap Oxford Street. You can see that if you care. But I thought it was super cool. I'm very excited to try. I've never tried a wedge, and I really wanted to. And so I'm sending him like 3 razors. I'm sending this one, and a Swedish razor I have, and then a German razor, a Boker. I got the matching splash here at the Loft. That nice rich tobacco, toned down a little bit with that sandalwood. It smells really good. These ones are a little bit different, but not a lot from the current splash. Aloe, glycerin, SD40B, alcohol, rose hydrosol, calendula extract, red clover, chamomile, plantain leaves, white willow bark, vitamin E, some triglycerides. I think all that stuff is in the current splash. I think there's just more stuff in the current splash. No burn whatsoever. The tobacco scent in the splash is more right up in your face in a really good way. It smells like a really, really nice, like walking into a humidor in like a cigar company, or like a smoke shop, whatever. You're gonna go buy cigars and you walk into that big walk-in humidor, and it's just that really nice scent of tobacco everywhere. It smells really nice. I do like the tobacco note a little bit more in the splash. I'm curious about the signature scent, how it balanced out. I know he changed it. He knew that it was based off of the Loft, and he changed it and made it into the signature scent. So I am going to pick that up at some point. Smells great. Good stuff though. If you ever see this out there on the Buy Sell Trade page, goodbye. Recommend from me. Can't beat the base. That was a shave. I hope you liked it. Gonna send out some razors. Probably take 2 or 3 weeks, I imagine, to get all 3 of them back. Some of them are just getting home. This one's, none of them are getting any extensive work. But I don't know what he's got on his plate, so I just assume a couple, 2-3 weeks. But it should be cool. Gonna get it, buffed out and cleaned up. And I'm looking forward to it. And I'll see you then. Have a good one.